Most ghost stories begin with a legend, a rumor, or a blurry shadow someone claims they saw. But this one doesn't come from a campfire. It comes from a camera, a real camera, from a photo that should have been impossible to capture. In 2014, a family on vacation took a picture inside an abandoned mining town in Arizona. They didn't see anything strange at the time, just an empty, dusty street, a row of wooden buildings, and bright afternoon sunlight. But when they came home and looked closely at the picture, they noticed something standing in the doorway of an old general store. A figure, pale, still, almost translucent. Not a person, not a shadow, something else. Experts analyzed the image. Lighting made sense. Angles made sense. But the figure didn't. No one could explain it. And that single photograph opened the door to one of the strangest paranormal cases of the last decade. Contrary to what movies show, most ghost sightings don't happen in the middle of the night. They don't hide in darkness. They don't wait for silence. Some of the most credible sightings happen in broad daylight, in crowded places, around people who weren't even thinking about ghosts. One of the clearest examples of this happened in 2018 inside a historical museum in Ontario, Canada. A group of visitors took a photo in the main hall. Behind them, between two display panels, stands a woman in an old Victorian dress. Perfectly centered, perfect posture, perfect lighting. There's only one problem. The museum didn't have actors, no reenactments, no staff dressed like that, and no mannequins in that area. Multiple visitors confirmed there was no one behind the group. Security staff checked the hall just minutes before the photo was taken. The corridor was empty. Yet the woman appears in the picture. Full body, head to toe, and she's looking directly at the camera in a way that feels uncomfortably aware. Photo experts tried explaining it. Reflection? No. Double exposure? Impossible with the camera used. A person who walked by? Not a chance. She's too solid, too centered, too intentional. It was the first piece of evidence suggesting something strange was happening in places that shouldn't be haunted at all. Pictures are one thing. They can be faked, edited, misinterpreted. But video is harder to dismiss. And the next case comes from a security camera inside a suburban home in Austin, Texas. A couple had been hearing footsteps at night. Soft, slow, like someone walking from the kitchen to the hallway. They thought it was just the house settling or maybe an animal outside, until the night the camera recorded something. At 2:43 a.m., the motion detector triggered. The lights turned on automatically, and the camera captured a figure walking from the kitchen toward the living room. A tall figure, thin, grayish, almost transparent. It didn't move like a person. No bounce, no weight, no footsteps. Just a smooth, gliding motion, like it was floating slightly above the ground. When it reached the end of the hallway, it stopped, turned its head toward the camera, and stared. The moment its face turned, the camera glitched. Static, distortion, a loud pop in the audio. Then everything went dark. Technicians checked the wiring, perfect. Camera, not broken. Motion detector, normal. Lights, fine. Everything worked, except when that thing passed by. To this day, no one can explain what the camera saw, and the couple moved out 6 months later. Some of the most disturbing paranormal cases involve children. Not because children are scary, but because ghosts that appear as children make no sense. Why would an apparition choose the shape of a child? Why would it stay in one place for years? Why would it show up on multiple photos taken by different people? This is exactly what happened in a small house in Dublin, Ireland. 3 families lived there over the span of 8 years. None of them knew each other, but all 3 reported the same thing: a child sitting halfway down the staircase, always in the same spot, always with knees pulled to the chest, always looking down, never moving, never reacting, just sitting. One family managed to take a picture. The next family captured it too. The third recorded a video. The child wasn't solid, wasn't transparent either. It looked like a person, but with edges that weren't fully connected, like the outline flickered around the shoulders and head. Experts attempted to recreate the photos using mannequins, lighting tricks, long exposures. Nothing matched the exact shape. Psychics said the same thing independently. It isn't a child. It only looks like one. And for the families who lived there, that was somehow even worse. Hospitals are full of stories, but the most terrifying one comes from a closed psychiatric wing in New York. After the hospital shut down in the early 2000s, urban explorers began sneaking in. Most recordings were typical: graffiti, broken glass, collapsed ceilings. But one video went viral for all the wrong reasons. 2 explorers walk down a long hallway. Their flashlights sweep across peeling walls and old beds. The sound echoes. Everything is quiet. And then, for a split second, a tall shadow crosses the hallway at the far end. Not a silhouette, a pure black form, darker than the hallway behind it, moving with absolute, unnatural stillness. The explorers didn't see it, but the camera did. And when the clip was enhanced, slowed down, and stabilized, you can see it clearly. The shadow pauses, tilts its head slightly, then vanishes behind a doorway. People who reviewed the footage noticed something chilling. The shadow had no visible feet. It didn't cast reflections. It didn't match the height or movement of a human. Paranormal experts claimed it was an intelligent manifestation. Skeptics said it was an optical illusion. But no one, not even video analysts, found a way to replicate the exact movement. To this day, the shadow remains one of the most convincing pieces of ghost evidence ever captured. Not all ghost stories are dramatic. Not all involve flying objects or slamming doors. Sometimes the most terrifying evidence is the simplest: a figure that shouldn't be there, a shadow that moves wrong, a face that appears in a window no one was near, a reflection that doesn't match the person holding the camera. Hundreds of these cases exist, and the disturbing part isn't that ghosts might be real. It's that many of these images and videos look too real to ignore. When light, angles, distances, shadows, and physics all match perfectly, you're left with only 2 options. Either someone went to extreme lengths to create a perfect fake, Or we're seeing something we were never meant to understand. And maybe, just maybe, these ghosts aren't trying to scare us. Maybe they're trying to be seen, if only for a moment, if only by accident, caught by a camera that wasn't supposed to notice them. Some images are fake. Some are misunderstandings. But a few, a very small few, leave only one question. What if the camera didn't glitch? What if it showed the truth, and we're the ones who can't handle it?